All right, welcome to the Monday Night Men's Forum. I'm Matt, FarmHopLife. Did I say it's the Men's Forum? It's the Men's Forum. Now what? Okay. Personal events. Christopher, go ahead.
Yeah. So, wife wanted to start a podcast, and she came to me and she said, "You want to start a podcast?" I said, "When do we start?" I was like, "Let's go." So she wanted to start a podcast for her side gig, suburban and rural homesteading today. We recorded 2 episodes, and it's mostly about things on her blog. But the first one was one I think I told you on the last time about a nutritional analysis I did. Did I mention that last time?
Yes.
I'm not
Yes, you
entirely
did.
sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so we just talked about that and walked that through how the people of the audience could do that for their own homestead. And the other thing, cool piece of a personal event was Scott had on his podcast interviewed a guy named Ryan Brown, and you told me about him, Matt, and you said, "Hey, check out this podcast." So I listened to his interview with Ryan. And I said, I'm going to get in touch with Ryan. So I got in touch with him. And we are now working together. And he's looking at my health data. And he's giving me an analysis and give me an idea of what I can do to kick this fatigue. One of the recommendations he had was start getting to sleep earlier. He said every hour you get to sleep before midnight is an extra whatever of deep sleep. And I tried it that day. It's like, okay, I'm going to try it. And I got to bed like 10:15. And man, I woke up really feeling good. I was like, whoa. So I think that's definitely
Nice.
that's definitely something I want to put in practice. And so because of that, I recognize that, well, that means then I can't be doing things late at night, which means this unfortunately has to be the last men's forum I can do because it's just too late for me here. I have to. I should be like turning into bed
Right about now.
Right about now, and I'm already kind of dragging down a little bit because I'm starting to get used to that new schedule.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm glad that you're taking steps in the right direction.
Yeah.
I don't know. There is no good time when we're spanning 4 different time zones,
right?
Or whatever. So.
Yep. It is what it is
for everybody.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Great. Well, I appreciate you being here.
I enjoyed it.
We'll just wrap up the Ben's Farm just permanently. This will just be it.
So y'all got to just make our own podcast now.
Yeah.
Go.
You have to come on. We need to get you on our podcast. That's what we need to do.
What? Have me?
And both of y'all.
Yeah, I'll be down.
Grant started some shit today.
More so I started yesterday.
Is that your personal event? Or you
I mean, it ties into the personal event. I've been doing a lot on the property where we should hopefully should be wrapping up around the end of December. We've cleared all the pasture. We've taken down several dozen trees. We are hitting at it.
Nice.
I've got videos that I don't know how much of y'all have watched. But I've got, about an hour's worth of footage over like the last month of just video and befores and afters of what we're doing and making it look better, taking it back to what it was. But there are these Leland cypress trees. They're about 25 foot in diameter. And my great grandmother's ashes were spread under this maple tree. And they're kind of growing together. The Lelands are kind of casting shade over it, but it had this one unruly branch that was just coming straight out like horizontally, and like right in your face. Even if you're on a mower, you couldn't mow around it. You couldn't really even get close enough to mow around it if it was like landscape. And overall, when we take down those Leland cypress, it is going to put a lot more wind, a lot more rain, and just a lot of environmental pressure on that tree. So I'm like, all right, let's go ahead and come at it. Had sharpened my chainsaw for like 45 minutes. It was ready to go. That was one of the first cuts I made on it. It went through it like a knife through warm butter, like perfect clean. It cut through before the limb could even move. It was already through it. Perfectly clean cut. Better done now so it can heal rather than it get maybe 20 years older and the whole branch fall off and just ultimately damage the tree more than it needed to. So my grandmother went over there yesterday to put Christmas flowers on the tree. And she saw it, and then she didn't bring it up yesterday evening when we were over there. But she brought it up to me this morning at about 10:20. And then afterwards, we had a fairly nice, cordial conversation. She said, "Don't cut on Granny's tree." I'm like, "It's fine. There's a few more cuts I'm going to make on it, but she shouldn't be able to see it because it's on the upper limbs where it's rubbing and touching. It doesn't need to." And she went crazy between 10:20 and 3:40. So at 3:20, I see a red streak just blow up the driveway. I'm like, that's the only one red truck like that I know of. And she came, walked in, and just demanded the key to the gate. Well, there's only one key because when we had the whole like trespass incident, we just changed the locks, and there's only one key for the lock. So anyway, she goes crazy, gets insanely mad that, I touched the tree, that I made a really minor cut on the tree. All it did was get an unruly limb out of the way, and she just did not like that. So that became a.
Isn't this the same grandma that isn't very grateful for things you do?
Yes. Yeah. She's my last living grandparent. So it's
So
kind of
you just got to piss her off.
Yeah.
it's tough, but it's one thing she realized they kind of threw it out of proportion is she's used to going over there whenever she wants to because she used to have a key, and we just haven't gotten around to making a new set of key. We don't care if she has a key, but there's also it's not her property. It's never been her property. There's just some stuff up there that's going to change. And I made some cuts on some other trees that my great grandmother had planted. I have nothing wrong with their location, but they just need to be shaped better. When you have limbs overhanging, the driveway at the gate touching the fence, well, those just need to go because those are going to cause problems later. So just cut them now, let them peel over, scab over, and they'll, that's it. They're fine. And she doesn't like change. Like she just doesn't like any of that. But it got simmered out after Dad hashed things out with her for about an hour and a half. They were having a good old discussion. Don't really know what that was. Most of that was said, but boy, would I have loved to have been a fly on the wall for that.
I guess next time, could you ask her before clipping anything?
So I could.
Yeah. I know you shouldn't have to.
She would say no.
Uh,
It was, and this is a reaction she was going to have at some point anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
And she will probably have it again 2 or 3 more times. Because there's some things up there. That property has been neglected almost for 40 years.
Yes.
It's been neglected for an extremely long time. Yes, that tree was there, and it's been fine for the last 30 years. But doesn't mean it will do better once it's open because it's very sheltered right now from a lot of wind and a lot right now. And when you open that up to let's say a tougher environment because it has like a wall of 16 Leland cypress that are 25 feet diameter blocking it from a lot of weather.
Mm-hmm.
That could present some issues with the tree. I figured that, it would be fine, but better have more precaution than not. It's extremely low to the ground. I'd hate for it to be wet and heavy and then just break off and then, peel the bark off the tree, make a bigger wound than it needed to. And it's like, I'm going to school for this. I mean, horticulture science.
You know what you're doing.
It's not really agriculture, but it's like, That's kind of what it's lumped into, but it's more of just the field of horticulture. And it's like, I haven't done a lot of in arboriculture. Arborists are a whole other thing. But I know some very common principles when it comes to what a tree should look like and how to make a proper cut. And it just really blew into something it didn't need to be.
Are other people on her side with that, and you're like, you guys are, or is it just her alone that's upset?
No, it's just her.
Yeah. Okay.
Mom don't care.
Okay.
Dad agreed with me that it needed to be, because really, if you're going to keep it up and it's sticking out about 6 feet, so if you're trying to mow around the tree, that's going to it goes all the way down to your feet. It's just in the way.
Yeah.
Completely unnecessary. But there's a couple other things that she's going to have that reaction about. She wanted us to cut a tree down that we didn't want to cut down. It's a huge mimosa tree. It's about the size. It's got the diameter maybe of a basketball. It's a huge
Big
trunk on this tree.
Yeah.
And it's growing outside of the edge of a magnolia. We cut about 5 or 6 maple trees out from the inside of the magnolia, like box elders, ash maples, just a really trash tree to clear out space, but it left a lot of holes. It left it really empty because there was no foliage to fill that in.
Yeah.
But if you were to take out this other tree, it's not that we can't take it out later if it gets damaged or we don't want it. But it would just make it look even emptier, even just a lot of empty space that was.
Right.
It's not something we have to take care of right now.
Right on.
And then, it's just stuff. I mean, it's not like I went, and cut off more. I wanted to cut off more than I did, but I'm like, I'll stop there. There's this one particular branch that I don't like on the tree. It's a complete 90-degree branch that branches outward. But that's the tree. That's the limb she ties the flowers to. And it's like, when you look at 100, 200-year-old maple trees, which you don't see that often, they don't have branches like this. They don't have that, trunk structure. It makes it very easily, like it's growing like a Bradford pear. Like it could really easily split if you did it, kind of take some necessary cuts.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you got to take care of that thing. That's not good.
Yeah, I mean, it's like fix some weight distribution. Like, again, would I care if the tree gets cut down? No, I don't care. I was there when they spread the ash. I don't care if the tree gets cut down because you can always replant a new tree because it's still that spot. You can still landscape that spot with flowers. You can always plant a new tree. But she's extremely attached to that tree. But it's like we did it with the mindset of making sure it lasts as long as possible.
It's a maintenance thing.
Yeah, it's, again, she says that trees will prune themselves. I'm like, I get that. But, a way nature prunes trees is by sending them a storm and knocking them down. So.
And she's really going to be mad.
Then she'd just be extremely hurt. Extremely hurt. But Dad ended up getting into some stuff with her that was more than about the tree. She ended up coming to the realization that she's gone. Like it kind of like she, after 13 years, it finally hit her that her mom's gone. Like she couldn't get over there to look at the tree because we had the key. And I'd made a cut on it. It's like, which I understand. Trust me, I understand like the loss and that pain. But she's never really tried to deal with it. And I guess today was the day she ended up dealing with it, pretty roughly.
You're going to kill your grandma, dude.
I hope not, but she has a very nice house.
Wow.
All right.
Way to just help yourself.
Yeah.
I'll see what I stepped into.
Good golly.
Yeah. I hope she comes to understand that, like, she has her ways, and there are the old school ways of doing things. but they are the older school ways of doing things that we're all kind of getting into, which is that permaculture mindset, that regenerative mindset that is being co-opted by, again, big ag, that was practiced 200-300 years ago, like before the settlers came. It's like they were we had actual proper herds to manage the ground. You had huge elk herds, you had huge buffalo herds, and then they grazed very intensively, but then they moved like every day. So I want to mimic those practices with cows and goats and sheep, and take back because it's not supposed to be an overgrown mess full of invasives. Like there's this Chinese holly in the front yard. It's like 9 foot tall and looks like a lollipop. It's ugly. I hate it. I don't want to cut it down so bad. But she wants it there because her mother planted it. I'm like, okay, we just can't keep everything your mother planted. Because,
you can just move it.
No, there's no moving this tree. It's right above a power pole.
Or take a cutting and put a cutting somewhere else. Be like, this is the one your mom planted. Now it's in a more appropriate place.
I don't want a cutting of a Chinese holly.
I get it. I
would rather move and relocate an American holly if she planted 2 huge, enormous American hollies.
Yeah.
And, they have babies all over the place. I'm like, I'd rather replant an American holly right there than have that Chinese holly.
Yeah, I get it.
And it's a whole thing. She's just a whole bag of crazy that I'm probably going to continue to irritate.
What about you, Padre?
What are we talking about? I came in late.
Just a personal event.
Personal event?
Well, you've got one of the same kind, don't you?
What?
A personal event. This is a little bit of drama.
Are you talking about the church thing?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I don't even want to talk about that right now. It wouldn't even bother me if it didn't bother my wife.
Yeah,
I'm bothered that she's bothered. Right?
Yeah.
I left that place behind 2 years ago. I could care less. But personal event. I got to meet a friend of mine off Twitter that I've talked to daily for years on the phone now. We finally got to meet over the weekend. That was pretty awesome.
Very nice. He came to you?
Yeah. He came and got 2 puppies from me.
Oh, sweet.
A 16-hour drive from Michigan to pick up 2 dogs.
Daggum.
So he just got back home a couple hours ago.
Were they free?
Yes, I gave them to him for free.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Don't bring up the puppies.
Grant, I only got 2 left.
Stop bringing up the puppies.
I got one solid white and one with a mask.
Grant would probably buy the puppies, sell them to someone like top dollar, get them for half price, and then resell them again.
Okay. I would get them if we were there, but we're not. Trust me, I would. If you got to like the end of December, you still have them, maybe. But yeah, if you don't mind me asking, is your wife the type of person who works somewhere and then leaves, and then everybody else leaves?
So
you kind of made it work.
Are you talking about the church thing?
Yes, sir.
So, okay, 29, it's a small private school.
Mm-hmm.
And
way to make him talk about it when he said he didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Again, he doesn't have to. I was just going to say, like almost every single place my dad has left working from, there's always been, 9 or 10 people that have left right after him every single time.
Well, they lost 29 students after my wife left. And
she's probably an amazing teacher.
And she is. And that's the reason the public school system poached her.
Yeah.
She's been in public. She's always done private school. She's been in public school since August. She's already got a promotion to case manager, and they're talking about promoting her again next year.
Wow.
She's amazing at what she does.
Yeah.
But 29 students left the school right after she left, And 29 is not a big deal in some schools, but that's like half the kids in that school. And they blame her for it. Now, a couple of them did leave because she left. A couple of parents, I heard them say, if you're not going to be there, then I don't want my kid there. But a lot of them, it was just people moved away. Like, I think she said like 14 or 15 of them had already told her they wasn't coming back before they knew she wasn't coming back.
Mm.
Well, the big thing is, even if they're right, how is that even her fault? It's their fault for not attracting and retaining students.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, that's stupid.
I agree, but
this isn't my fault. This is your fault.
Well, it started because I ran my mouth 2 years ago.
Started because you ran your mouth?
2 years ago.
Oh.
And so they always, my wife hung on, because she worked there for the church and the school. She hung on until her contract ended last May. That's when she finally left. I've been out of there for 2 years because I can only hold my tongue for so long, and then I can't hold my tongue any longer.
Mm-hmm.
And I just ran off at them. And I wasn't mean. I wasn't insulting. I didn't cuss the preacher out or nothing like that. But I told the truth the best way I know how to tell it, which is bluntly. And a lot of people don't appreciate that.
No, they really don't. They think you're being mean when it's just like, yeah.
Well, they hired some new staff members. And none of them were teachers, but they hired them as teachers because they hired them as favors to other pastors at other churches. They're like the kids of pastors in these other churches and things like that. And they got a bunch of people that don't need to be there. And one of them, he's only there because his daddy wanted him to be a preacher. He doesn't even care about the ministry. And they've made him youth pastor of the church. So it's all downhill. And I was asked by the preacher 2 years ago. He said, the church seems to not be doing well. Do you have any idea or any opinion as to why? I used to be in his inner circle. I went to his cabin. We used to hunt together. I was the inner circle with the preacher. And I told him it's the new people he hired. And which he instantly got pissed. Said some negative things about me. Started accusing me of attacking his new hires. Or what? So anyway, that's how all that happened. And
sorry you asked.
Yeah, don't ask me questions you don't want a truthful answer to. I don't sugarcoat crap.
That's a good way to figure out. I don't know, just like cut the cruft from your. I don't know. Just get people out of the way.
My wife will tell you, I do hurt her feelings from time to time, but she'll also tell you. My blunt honesty is one of the reasons she loves me so much.
That's the reason I love you so much.
If she asks me if the dress makes her look fat, I will say yes, it does. I don't hold back. She claims she loves that about me.
All right then.
But
that's different.
She drugged me along Saturday to pick out new clothes because her and my daughter needed Christmas dresses. And we was there and she showed up with this gold sequenced shirt dress thing. She was like, I love this. I was like, I don't. She's like, really? And I pulled up Whoopi Goldberg in Sister Act. With the Vegas dancer gold sequence dress on. I was like, this is what that reminds me of.
You probably could have stopped at Whoopi Goldberg.
And she goes, okay. And she leaves. A couple minutes later, she goes, you really don't think I should get it? I said, baby, get it if you want it. She goes, that's a no. She didn't get the dress. She got another dress, actually, that I think looks really good on her. So
yeah, there you go.
I'm glad she put it back. So
yeah, they don't like that too much.
I'm honest, but I'm not going to stop her either. So
there you go. Best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Well, nice. Very good. Thank you. I don't even know what we're talking about tonight. I think
what about your?
Yeah. Now what?
Your private.
I'm not. I am incognito for good reason. Can't talk about where I am or what I'm doing.
Oh, daggum. But what about a personal event?
That's incognito.
So what you
also incognito. Okay.
I don't.
Everything going on.
Oh, I went hunting last weekend just before this trip, and took my 3-year-old with me, and actually was successful despite.
Oh yeah, I saw that picture.
So did you shoot it or did he shoot it?
I wish he would have pulled the trigger. That would have been a badass story.
I gotta be honest.
I definitely shot it.
I thought he was the one that bagged it.
Yeah.
I was like, man,
that would be something else.
That would have been amazing.
Yeah. I've got 20 years on him and still I've never deer hunted.
Well,
yeah, I haven't.
Not too late to start. I think Jeremy just started this year.
When we get to the farm, look, we were up there at my grandmother's house. We were just sitting there. I saw a deer walk out of the woods, and then I decided to go walk up to it, and then I scared the crap out of it, and it ran. We pulled into the pasture last night, and there were just 2 does just sitting there, and just looking at us like it's gonna be so easy to hunt when I get up there.
Hey Grant, I was like 24, 25 before I went hunting for the first time, deer hunting.
Yeah, I like harvesting, not really hunting.
Harvesting meat, yeah.
Yeah,
so, I don't.
But still hunting.
Yeah, I'd rather wait till they're in my veggie patch at 2:00 in the morning and then shoot them with a crossbow in the eyeball, and then
you can do that too. That sounds good.
So we had our first freeze of the year last week.
Nice. Yeah. How'd it feel? Good.
Cold. So something interesting happened. I was lazy and I didn't cover any plants, and I was like, we're just gonna see what happens. Even my bell pepper plant survived.
Oh,
it didn't even get burnt. It's still just growing. We had an 8-hour hard freeze.
I had some tomatoes that made it through the first frost, which was really something.
Well, if it was last year or 2 years ago, I can't remember now. I had a sunflower that made it into January.
There you go.
But it went through several freezes.
Crazy.
I don't know if it's because when it freezes down here, it's only cold for like 6-8 hours and then warms back up again. Like it's not 24, 48, 72 hours of freezing or at or below freezing temperatures.
Yeah, I'm on like a 2-month freeze so far, and I don't think my tomatoes are going to come back.
Oh yeah, I was like, man, Matt's probably had his first freeze was probably in May.
Actually, we went all the way until like late October, November this year, which is very weird.
That's surprising. Yeah,
normally it happens early to mid-September.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a low temp, no freezing, but all the sweet potatoes now are like knocked back. They're all black and brown and nasty looking. And so I was like, well, they didn't even touch freezing. It was like 37. So I don't know why they didn't like it. I've never seen them do that before. Yeah. Whatever.
I think our first frost was right on time this year.
Came right on time.
Well, maybe about a week late. I think the 18th is usually our first frost, or average first frost.
For the last 2 years,
plant anything for their winter crop yet?
I've never had a winter garden or a fall garden.
Yeah, same here.
Oh man, I got Brussels sprouts and cabbage and carrots and beets everywhere.
I may speed run.
Nice.
I may speed run a fall garden. I'm meeting with the NRCS lady tomorrow, and if she says if I can get a crop in this year, I may go and get like 100 square bales of hay, line them up, put them under plastic, and then speed run like some beets and radishes, or like some Swiss chard or something, and then get a harvested crop this year.
I got a rainbow chard growing. It's growing really well.
Audrey, are you
looks
still
good.
trying to do like gourmet garlic or something?
I was trying to, and I couldn't get the garlic. So where I was ordering the garlic bulbs from, they didn't have them. They were late. And then suddenly they had them, and they had them gone before I could order them.
Ah, shoot.
So I completely missed the order.
What makes them so special?
Well, most people don't realize there's thousands of variety of garlic.
Yeah.
You have like Cuban garlic; it's made to eat raw. You just chew on it. But then you got stuff from Russia that's as spicy as a jalapeno or a habanero pepper.
Hmm.
Oh, dang.
And there's just thousands of varieties of garlic, and that's what we were trying to get into. Some of them are 2-year crops. Some of them are 10-month grow seasons, like a regular garlic. But I was trying to get into that around here for some of these Cajun restaurants we got going. And we got a lot of Asian infusions coming into the area too. So we were looking at Taiwanese peppers and garlic and Chinese garlics, and trying to grow native to the cuisine, but be local grown. So that fell through, but I actually have been talking to 2 executive chefs now. One at one of the casinos down here, and I think I'm going to grow herbs for them this coming spring. They both expressed interest at a farm to table herbs. We're talking sage, oregano, thyme, like culinary herbs. But they're pushing farm to table is not a thing in my area, but it's becoming a thing in my area.
Oh, nice.
So
on the tip of that way.
I know a guy 45 minutes from here. That's what they do. He actually got a puppy from me recently. But they grow herbs. He has a nice setup. He was showing me pictures the other day. But he services Louisiana down in the New Orleans. He doesn't do the Gulf Coast, so I could pick up the Gulf Coast and not step on his toes.
Or step on toes, man. Crush your competition.
I don't want to crush my competition. He's my friend.
Well, a friendly competition never hurt nobody.
There's no friends in business.
It's fine. He's got South Louisiana. I got South Mississippi.
If you want the seed company I use, South Georgia Seed Company, the only seed company I buy from, has Appalachian white softneck garlic, which is a heirloom in a garlic variety from our area, which I thought was cool. So I got 30 of them.
Well, I'm only doing hard necks.
Oh, is there a reason why?
Storage purposes.
Yes.
Because the hard necks, you can braid them and hang them, and they're good forever. Soft necks go bad quickly.
Okay.
But no, and the other thing I'm getting into this coming spring is we're going to grow a bunch of weird stuff just out of the ordinary vegetables and fruits, crap you'd find in India and China and things like that. Because again, there seems to be a growing interest in it in this area.
Like, are you saying there's a big like Oriental presence in Mississippi?
Oh well, there's a huge Vietnamese population down here on the coast.
I've been looking into like perennial bulbs, like Chinese yams and stuff like that. They're super small, but if you have a market for stuff like that, it'd be extremely easy.
Well, we already have the Vietnamese population, but we're starting to get a lot of. I don't think any Chinese, but a lot of Taiwanese, Indian populations moving into the area. And I don't mean just the stereotypical gas station owners, like legitimate Indian culture stuff. Like so, the Vietnamese population down here, they have China has
Indian gas station owners instead of illegitimate Indian gas station owners.
Right. They put on a festival every year, like the Chinese New Year, but it's Vietnamese celebration. So they have a big thing, and they invite everybody on the coast to come experience Vietnamese culture. Well, the Indians are starting to do stuff like that, and the Taiwanese are. So we're beginning to have a big cultural melting pot thing going on down here. And what does everybody love? They love food.
Yeah.
So I know I have a market. So I talked to one guy. I can't pronounce his name, but he's opening an Indian grocery store. And we talked about some of the melons and different fruits he used to get back home.
Oh.
I researched them. They will grow just fine in my area. So I'm thinking about doing things like that, picking up the stuff they miss.
Yeah, if you could get like some homage food, I mean that'd be a premium right there. If you just did like 20 by 20 plots of different melons or squashes. I don't know if they have different squash varieties either. But yeah, that'd be awesome. I know I'm trying to get, I'm going to look at greenhouses this weekend, and hopefully he'll do me good. There's two of them. They're 30 by 96, I think, for $4,000 a piece. And comes with heating and vents and all that stuff.
Oh, dang.
But there is the guy who wanted me to help him start a nursery. His neighbor runs a vineyard, and his neighbor talked to him about growing vineyard stock for grapes, like grapevine stock for vineyards. Instead of like this guy, he's importing his grapevine stock from Italy and France, and that's just when he has to buy 400 or 500 of them, not really economical. So I'm like, if I can get in, Georgia is going crazy with vineyards, because like we've had apple orchards forever, but for some reason people are wanting to put in a lot of vineyards, and like if I can get a good like rootstock growing, I could sell the rootstock for these guys to splice their varieties to, and that would kind of be a very good staple to have.
Yeah.
And if I could get in,
I'm glad to see Georgia hopping on that bandwagon.
Yeah, I know. I've got some family. They own a cidery, Reese's cidery. Like a second, third cousin of mine married into the family, and it's fantastic. That's the only alcohol I drink is from them. It's amazing. I could drink a whole bottle. Like the bottles are like 24-ounce bottles, and you can just drink the whole thing with dinner.
North Carolina got big into the winery and vineyards about 20 years ago.
Yeah, but it's specifically like in North Georgia, like in the Blue Ridge Mountains.
Yeah,
it's really kicking off there for some reason.
Well, the whole climate change thing, I know that's debatable whether it's true or not amongst many circles, but
I will be right back. I gotta step away.
I've been keeping records for over a decade, and I've noticed everything's getting warmer. Reasons are debatable, but things like the Appalachian Mountains are becoming more favorable for things such as vineyards.
That's interesting.
The USDA just changed their zoning map.
Oh yeah.
I saw that.
I went from the border of 9B, 9A to I am now solidly 9A.
Yeah, we did too.
I haven't even looked. I just assume I'm still zone 5. I might be zone 6 now. I don't know.
Well, I know a bunch of people that changed. Some of them changed a couple zones.
No, if climate is changing for the warmer, that's actually a really, really good thing, because more and more people survive when it gets warmer, and the earth has never been greener with all this carbon dioxide. So, on the bright side. Yeah. I just, man, I miss the old environmentalists who cared more about poisons in the water supply than whether some rich white dude's beach house was swamped in 100 years.
You and me both.
Yeah.
Y'all have heard me complain about the Mississippi River and all the pollution. Nobody seems to care about that.
Yeah, well, like where did that concern go? It's all
Right.
about what's coming out of cow farts and stuff. So
you got me, some simple jackwagon in backwoods Mississippi, complaining about the Mississippi River, and nobody else.
The topsoil, yeah.
I saw a map of the life expectancy across, like the average state life expectancy across the United States, and the entire like Mississippi River that tracks, the further and further you get to the coast, the smaller and shorter the life expectancy is.
Oh, my area of the country has the shortest life expectancy of men.
Yeah, it's everybody's all of the good environmentalists have been bought and paid for to just push this global warming thing. Like, Earth is going to have different climates and different seasons in its existence. That's fine. Deal with it. But like the new map, I'm still going to plant from my old zone because the only thing it's going to do is give you harsher temperatures, like more extreme temperatures. I don't think you're going to really get the same growing season as somebody who like your old zone. I don't think you're going to be able to grow something new or something more that's from a different zone. Like if you were zone 6, you've been pushed to zone 7. I don't necessarily think you're going to be able to grow straight zone 7.
I just looked and my zone didn't change actually.
That's so funny. You're just so much iced out.
I actually wasn't planning on having my zone change anyways because it could easily just change back. So
yeah. You can. I would always experiment with it, but I would just plant what will live. You can always kind of experiment outside, but you don't want to like put all your eggs in the I was 6A, now I'm 7B. Yeah. Put all your eggs in the 7B basket when you were 6A, and then you're still 6A when you try to actually grow. You just have more extreme highs and lows.
Yeah. I think the biggest difference is going to be over winter.
Like
so I think all right. So if you were in 6B and they moved you to 7A, I think your winter is still going to be a 6B winter. I think it's just your summer became a 7A summer. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
I think the zone map probably should be split by season.
Of course it should. But again, you can take it from your zone map and then break it even further down into your eco regions. So, it depends on how specific you want to get for your climate or your microclimate.
It was Jack Spirko said, I heard on one of his shows, he said, you just to deal with the possibility, all you do is plant with one zone on either side in mind, and you're in great shape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I got changed from like a 7B to an 8A. And I'm like, I don't really think that changes anything for me. I don't think I get to grow an entirely new world of vegetables.
Well, the reason I say that it's seasonal is somebody I know from Twitter. They were like 6A. They're up in Massachusetts, and they live near the coast, and their zone got changed to like 7B. Or no, excuse me. They jumped 2 zones warmer. I can't remember exactly what their numbers were. But I was like, you're going to get a crap ton of snow this winter. I don't care where you live in Massachusetts. So like that new warm zone wasn't going to match.
Well, in this winter with the El Nino, it's supposed to be a lot more severe anyway for those people.
Yeah, they're already getting snow up there.
Yeah. Yeah, El Nino is supposed to hit them hard.
Well, we've had more rain in the last 2 weeks than we've had in the last 5 months here, and it comes through here before going up there.
Like, I'll just say this. We got a lot of rain this week, but they were also spraying for like 5 days before we got rain. So that's probably the rain we got, was their sprayed rain.
3 days ago, my front pond was only a third full.
What, Matt?
Is this the chemtrail part of the podcast?
Yes, this is the routine chemtrail part of the podcast.
That darn Kim, why she's always doing trails?
Just check.
Stop turkey trotting. What were you saying about your pond?
Yeah, what was that?
I'm trying to figure out what's up with Chris's background.
I don't know. I don't even know what's wrong with my background.
What's the big bald black guy head sticking over the hill?
I just saw that and I just laughed my butt off. I said I got to put that on there.
I've been looking at it for like 40 minutes now, going, what is he? What is?
It'd be funny if you put like
move.
a tear on it. It look like a tear.
Make it
blink.
Make it blink. That would be awesome.
I just saw that and laughed.
Wait 45 minutes and then
make it blink or make it occasionally wink.
That blinking would be fantastic.
Oh shoot! Oh man, that would be funny.
That's all right. I got the Star Wars AT Walker with dressed up as Rudolph.
Yeah,
I like it.
I saw that.
You were talking about your pond?
Oh, 3 days ago, it was only a third full. We had a big storm come through Friday night. Saturday morning, it was full. So like 6 months of drought, evaporating my pond was gone overnight. But we had flood warnings. And it's kind of crazy. We was talking about the weather being different. We've been in drought for 4 months. One of the worst droughts we've ever been in since I've been here anyway. And now we're getting rain. It's going to rain again this weekend.
I don't think we've had a really bad drought in Georgia since I was like 14. I remember there was one year that was just like everybody was talking about it. You couldn't even turn on your water hose or somebody'd make a fuss about it. That's the only thing anybody talked about like all summer was we were in a drought. I'm like, I wasn't even old enough to really care or pay attention. But I'm like, it may just be me, but I don't feel like we've had too much of a drought. We've gone like 2 or 3 weeks without rain, but it's never really. 2
years ago in June, we had an entire year's worth of rain in June. And then this year it hasn't rained since June.
Hurricane.
Yeah.
What?
I think that's called a hurricane.
No, they talked about how unusually cool our summer was because we didn't get out of like the mid 80s. It was overcast every day for like 2 months straight, and it rained. It was overcast. It rained. It was weird. That is the same year Zeta came through in October, though. Hurricane Zeta.
Do you guys keep track of your local weather like by hand?
I do.
Like a journal?
I do.
Anyone else?
No, I'm not good enough for that yet.
I asked for a weather station for Christmas so that I could like keep track of the rain, the wind, the sun, all those things.
That's what I have. I have a little weather station in the backyard.
Nice.
I need a new one though. My rain gauge quit working. It's digital rain gauge.
Yeah.
So all the information goes to a nice little panel on my wall in the living room. It is quit tracking rainfall.
A pinhole in your living room?
A panel.
Oh, got it.
So it's like a tablet hanging on the wall.
Cool.
Yeah, nice.
So it actually gives you a 48-hour forecast. So based on the previous 48 and the current conditions, it'll forecast the next 48.
Oh. Now we just need again like chemtrail like data to add to it. To that forecast, make it
that's just a sticky note on the side. I saw him spraying this day at this time.
Yeah.
Every time I leave my house, I see him spraying. We were chipping one day. I mean, I was chipping for 4 hours straight. I stop. I look up, and they're spraying. We were there from 9 o'clock in the morning. They started spraying, they were still spraying when we left.
Yeah. They saw you and they said, let's go spray now while he's outside.
Yeah, and then guess what? The next day was overcast. Monday was raining. I'm like, come on. Come on.
I just did an interview with a guy. He's like, we need to make greenhouses as cheap as possible so that we can keep our food clean for whatever they're spraying in the air.
Well, how do you irrigate them? How do you water them? If it falls down into the water supply, what do you water them with?
Dig them up,
filtered water,
underground water.
So you filter your rain catchment water?
Good.
Well, all my water comes from 450 feet underground.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know I want to build some water towers that have funnels on them to catch about 500 gallons worth of rain for every other one of my garden rows, because it's going to be like 100 feet by 40 feet. So I can irrigate all the way down with just gravity fed water if I have to.
That'd be clever.
But then I'd like to try to pump out of the creek. We can't put in a well right yet.
Yeah, they're like $70 a foot right now.
Gee.
Where I'm at.
My business is gonna be the grant business. I'm gonna apply for as many government, state, federal, county grants as I possibly can, and that's what I'm gonna do. My business is gonna be
And you could
based on
sell
what
that as a
grants are.
service.
I don't want to sell it.
You could I'm saying like you could help other people get grants and sell that as a service.
I mean, if you want me, just
Grant, get
ask.
grants.
Grant. I need help with grants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm putting it out there right now. If you know how to do it, look, I've tried. I've looked into them, and that crap confuses me.
Honestly,
dial your phone right now. G.
I've gone to. There's a couple places to look for them and find them. I found a couple. I found one that I actually could have applied for this year. The minimum, the floor was a $50,000 grant, and the ceiling was like $2.5 million. The average was about 62,000 or 262,000. So I feel like it was kind of more so tailored to universities, because those are like the only people who got it last year. But I'm like, if I'm asking for $50,000 to grow it was a specialty crop grant. It gives you $50,000 to grow a specialty crop, try to market it, and all that stuff. I'm like, the specialty crops are like, well, this is easy. I could grow this. Like, I was more so looking at the nursery plants. Like, this is easy. This is just bedding plants. Like, I would like to get a greenhouse up just so I can go to the wedding venue next door. That's our neighbor. She bought 180 acres, built a huge wedding venue, is getting crazy business. And see if I can be their landscaper and grow and sell them their plants and then landscape it, because it quite frankly doesn't look good enough in my opinion.
Yeah, there you go.
It's like there right now. Look, I can landscape it and make it look fantastic. I mean, I do such a good job.
But Grant, now something about federal grants. I'm going to shoot you a couple videos I saw interviewing some people about how the federal government is snatching up a lot of land by when farmers take grants. That opens up a whole matrix of federal law that then applies to your land that didn't apply to it before, and it's one of the paths that they're using to seize lands. So I'm going to shoot you the videos. Just so all that to say.
I mean, if someone tries to seize my land,
let me finish.
I'll just end up dead. So
don't take all that to say is I'm not saying don't take grants, but go into it eyes wide open.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll shoot you the video.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm not really going to go for it's going to be more regenerative kind of ask grants.
Yeah.
Like grants, you can get grants for bees and beehives. You can get a grant for installing something like a bat house. There's all kinds of stuff you can get.
Hey, Grant.
Yeah.
Does it feel weird saying your name over and over again?
It does a little bit.
We done talking about grants?
Yeah, it's a grants.
We're done talking about grants. Let's just talk about Grant. How about that?
I think we just go.
When is the wedding? Grant?
May 18th.
May 18th.
Actually, this time?
Yes.
All right.
I mean, it's been May 18th since before I proposed.
Since the last May 18th.
Who's officiating?
I didn't even know her last May 18th. Well, yes, I did.
Who's officiating it?
Oh, family friend, unless Padre can make it.
Gotcha.
Well, I haven't been asked, so yeah.
Yeah. we're just trying to honestly. Don't know how many people we're going to be. We had a list written to like 120 people, and I think I'm going to slash it to 10.
Yeah.
10.
Jeez.
We did our ceremony with like 20, 30 people, and we did the reception was open to anybody, but the ceremony was small.
If we
You're going to invite your grandma?
Yes.
All right. Just asking.
I'm trying to get her house, man.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind doing 120 people, but it really puts us in a financial pickle. Because I would essentially use the wedding as a launch pad for the farms. But hey, I know all you people. We've supported all you people doing so much crap. It's time to pay it back, and just use it to just kind of sell the farm, sell the what we're due. But honestly, I don't care. Really, I don't care. I would rather invite all those people over individually for them to come visit, and then we can, socialize then personally, one-on-one, and we can just cook them dinner instead of having a stupid, retarded wedding.
I mean, there is that.
Yeah. But me and my wife went to the courthouse.
I wanted to do that, but I wanted to do that last month, and last month's not there, so we're waiting till May.
My dad and stepmom are witnesses.
Yeah, I wasn't wanted to go without my parents. Like either one of them. Mom's like, no, you can't do that to me. I'm like, well, fine. We'll just wait till May.
Make it, dude. Make it fun. All right. If you just have fun with it.
Like my current wife is not my first wife. I have been through the big wedding. 250, 300 people sitting in the church.
Wow.
That's a lot more stress than fun.
Yeah, it sounds very stressful. I mean, because we'd be doing the catering, we'd be doing everything. Because I'm sorry, I know too much about the wedding industry to pay any of them a cent. I'll be doing the flower arrangements. I'd get incorporated, and I'd go through the wholesalers. I'd buy the flowers wholesale and make the arrangements myself. I'm not going to be paying a florist an insane amount of money to do something. I've been through the class. I'm getting an associate's in floral design, and it's stupid. Yeah. I mean, the amount of when you know the markups and you know the price increases, it's ridiculous. I can't pay that.
So what you're saying is $100 for a dozen roses at Valentine's Day is way too much.
It's a cheap way to skip out. I mean, if you want to do flowers for Valentine's Day, I don't really know how to explain you the design, but get you a little green bowl from Hobby Lobby, get some Oasis foam, and then green it up. Put in go to Kroger, get your greens, put in some leather leaf. I mean, I can give you a diagram that shows the.
Yeah, we'll have that ready next in February.
Yeah. All right, I'll have that ready in February, and then we can do a men's floral design class at my desk, and I will show you how to green an arrangement.
Grant's going to help us all win brownie points with our wives when we hand it to her, and she loves it, and we're like, we did this ourselves.
We'll send out the here's what you need to buy.
We just have 10 people here 10 dudes here trying to figure out how to do flowers. It's extremely
funny.
It's extremely simple. I could legitimately do that if y'all wanted to.
Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to make a note for February. That's what we're doing. We did Let's Fix a Generator. Now we're going to do Let's Be Great for Valentine's Day or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we do need to wrap up.
Yeah. I'm sleepy.
Yeah.
All right. Christopher.
Yeah. SecureCoop.com. I'm working on a coop door opener with phone notifications. I'm wrapping up the beta testing, and look down below. There is a coupon, FarmHopLife Rocks. And also, if you get on the mailing list, there's another coupon. You can combine them together. I have a free ebook on the website on coop protection. And and if I didn't say it already, it is a coop door opener with phone notifications. I guess I need to tell you that. But that is where it's at. It's something I've been working on the side for a little bit too long, but we're almost there.
Awesome.
Yep.
Coming along.
Yep.
Grant.
Yes, I am Homestead of Pain on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. I've been tweeting recently for the 3 people that click on my posts. It may be interesting. It may not be. I'm a little over enthusiastic about most of the posts I make, but again, I'm going to be posting videos. What been doing at the farm. I have a backlog I have to start with, so I'll probably sit down at my desk and post one of those tomorrow.
Nice.
I'm debating on quitting altogether because nobody looks at anything.
Well, it's because you're inconsistent, but we can talk about that another time.
Very true.
Thanks. Padre.
Smith-homestead.com for until the end of the month only. Then my website will be gone, y'all. They've doubled the price of the hosting, and I just it'll take me 4 months to pay for the hosting. No more online sales than I make. But for now, going into Christmas,
I'm gonna send you a link at the end here.
Okay. So go check it out. Code FarmHopLife, get 10% off your order. Just in time for Christmas. Some handmade soap, handmade candles. I'm Homestead Padre on Twitter. I guess I'm going to get back on Instagram because my wife's bugging me. So I'm Homestead Padre there as well.
Nice.
And TikTok, I am Kingdom of Homesteadia.
Awesome. Thank you. And I'm at FarmHopLife.com. We're a traveling hosted family. We do a podcast of interviews, this men's forum, famous farmers, like biographies, and sometimes farm tours. And wherever I am right now, I might be able to go visit Padre next week, but he doesn't know that.
I hated that work out a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, me too. But that's how this goes, and it probably won't work out next week either. But we can always hope.
We're gonna hope.
Yeah.
Yep. That's all we can do. All right. See you guys in like 3 or 4 weeks or something.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
See you next year.